Welcome, everyone. We are at the end.
We sure are at the end.
Yeah, we have spent 3 days here at the event with colleagues online who have been diligently in following us over these 3 days. We spent a lot of time talking, discussing. We have discussed about mainstreaming, working in complex crises. How did you find it, Stephanie?
I mean, for me, it was very insightful to come here. My first time at the Global Dialogue Platform, only been in the setting on the African continent, so new discussions, new points of view, but all very insightful, and I hope we can now use this to put it in practice.
Yes, indeed, excellent. So yeah, let's do that. So with this spirit, we start the closing ceremony. And now I've got the pleasure to start by inviting Alan Dinka. Alan, please come on stage. I'm glad to introduce you to Alan. A big applause, please. Thank you.
Hello, hello.
Hi.
Can you hear me?
Let's see. In the meantime, let me introduce you, Alan,
Thank you.
to our public here and online. Alan is the event specialist at the Global Facility for Disaster Risk Reduction of the World Bank, organizer of the Understanding Risk Forum, and among all, a proud member of the organizing committee for the Adverted Disaster Award.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Alessandra, and thank you to all. It was... So, thanks, everyone. The Averted Disaster Award was an initiative launched in 2021 by the GFDRR, and was developed to bring visibility to successful interventions that are often not deserved as a visibility. What do? We have spent 3 days talking about anticipatory action. We focus on action, on successful action. This action that deserves to be promoted, that deserves to be highlighted. This is the 3rd year, as I said, that we are running this award. And we are we feel fortunate that we have received a lot of candidacy from all over the world, of very, very credible and worthwhile initiative. And most of all, this is the 2nd year that we are here in Berlin at this event. So thank you again to the organization committee to hosting us. This is a kind of second house for us. As I said, successful action. How to measure the successful action? This year we have introduced a news. We have applied to few candidates, the most valuable candidates, counterfactual analysis. Counterfactual analysis, as you know, is they ask the essential question: what would have happened during the hazard or event without the intervention implemented in this place? So, as I said, we have applied counterfactual analysis to the 5 finalists of the award, and together with Professor Susanna Jenkins from the Nanyang Technology University of Singapore. And you can learn about these 5 counterfactual analyses in our website. We did that because we hope that the counterfactual analysis serve as an example for other entity, other organization to replicate, to feel inspired, to again to replicate this intervention in the local community, etc. But let's go direct to the point. Among the 5 finalists that we have seen, the winner of this 2024 ADA award goes to Lamu County. Lamu County for the establishment the establishment of an emergency operations center. In 2020, Lamu County has developed this operations center that is dealing with more than 15 types of hazards that are terrestrial or maritime. But before having the honor to have on stage one representative of the Operations Center, we went to Lamu County and we did a video that I hope you will enjoy that explain how they did operate. So thank you. We can play the video. Thank you.
I grew in a very humble background, Kenya, Somalia border. At the age of 7, I remember I was put in a basket by my mom to keep me away from the hungry militias who were shooting sporadically. That's changed my life. I wanted to have Lamu not only a peaceful, but also a disaster-free county. So that is the career that I wanted to undertake. My name is Shea Hupi Shea, and this is how I averted disaster. After becoming a national government officer, I worked my way up to become the first ever director of disaster management and peace building in Lamu County. We have been exposed to a lot of hazards in Lamu: floods, drought, maritime disasters, and the rising sea level. And then in 2017, we got one of the worst maritime incidents. The incident involved a dhow carrying over 16 people on board, and majority of them were women and children. When that boat capsized, we were not able to respond timely. So by the time we at the office had learned of this incident, it was too late. It was an hour over. It was not now about rescuing. It was actually about recovering the bodies. That situation touched my heart. Our women and children drowned because of the confusion, because of miscoordination, because of lack of collaboration. In Lamu County, we don't want to respond to disasters. We want to avert disasters. So when now we started to bring together all these multi-stakeholders in one-stop shop. We created an emergency operations center. We coordinate responses. We undertake early warning systems. We also undertake anticipatory actions. We make those communities resilient to the impending or upcoming disaster. In 21st September, we received a letter warning us of the danger of overflowing dams, and we were told in the next 21 days there is an impending flood that is going to hit Lamu. And the speed of that flood will be crazy. So immediately when we received that information, we converted that language into a friendly language package for our community now to understand, especially on areas that we have mapped as the hotspot areas for flooding. So we dispatch that through the radio, we dispatch direct to the community. We tell them about the danger that are coming. And after doing that, we also now go to monitor whether that message has been received well, it has been understood. So we had to put them from the lowland areas to higher land areas in anticipation of a worse flood that was coming. Over the next 2 weeks, we worked non-stop to relocate 11,000 people and 20,000 animals. We will have lost people, and many will have gone through washed away because the magnitude or perhaps the force that flood came in or was out of nowhere. I mean, it was unimaginable. You can imagine a well-structured 2-kilometer tarmac road now being just washed within 10 minutes by water. That was a crazy energy. Had we not evacuated those people, had we not taken the anticipatory actions, then we could be counting dead bodies. Luckily, we were able to save our people. We have embraced each other so that now we become as a team. We never registered a death that emanated from flood. And that was a success story for Lamu County. Objective of saving life becomes a reality.
With pleasure that I would like to ask to Shea Hupi Shea to come on stage. Thank you, Shea. This is your play. Thank you again. And I would like also to ask Alessandra to come on stage because Alessandra wants to pose you some questions. Thank you.
What a fantastic story, and thank you for being here again. It's great. So I've got the pleasure of asking you a couple of questions, Chief, that's okay. And thank you for being here. So can you tell us about what the challenges did you face within the government in putting together the center?
Actually, with a lot of challenges, to be honest, because the dangers that we faced right and coming to realize this structure in 2020, the 5 years gap had a lot of problems. One problem that we have as Lamu County government is insufficient funding. Actually, we are the least funded county in Kenya from the national cake. And that has really slowed down our interventions, has really incapacitated our move to make Lamu a better place to be for the last 10 years. Another problem that we have is the least presence of donors, or in this case, development partners. In Lamu County, we have just 4 or 5 development partners that we work with to make Lamu a better place to be. And that is why I want to take this opportunity in this very global platform to request you partners to come and be our donors in as far as Lamu County DRR framework is concerned. Another problem, there'll be many, but perhaps last, because in the interest of time, we are in what we call technological backwardness. Lamu County has persevered a lot of climate change impact using traditional methods of making it safe and sound. But now I think it's time for us to leverage on technology so that we can quicken our interventions in as far as technological advancement is concerned. I think those are the few from the 20 problems that we have.
Thank you for that. And could you also tell us a bit more where the bureaucratic hurdles you have encountered in this journey?
Of course, the political aspects, the marginalization aspects, the historical injustice that have been happening in Lamu County for the last 40 years. These are some of the hurdles that we had faced. But because we had the motive, because we had the energy to do it, is what now God made it possible for us to save our people.
Good. Anything else that you want to share with us?
Yes, I think I have one solution that I want to make to the world. Anticipatory humanitarian action is the only solution. Because for Lamu County, we have borne the brunt of disasters. We have felt the pain. For the last 30 years, we have been responding in a lot of events. But now we say we don't want to respond, we want to avert. Just looking at Lamu County alone, the data is very clear. In some instances, we have responded to an event where we saved 50 out of 60. In another one, we saved 70 out of 75. And when you look at this trend, you find that we were at a loss, because one life lost is one too many. And that is why last year we had a result with His Excellency the Governor that now we need to move from responding to aversion. And that is why in the last craziest flood that we had in 2023, we embarked on aversion, and that is why we had to save 100 out of 100. And that's the bottom line. That's the bottom line. That's the spirit that we need to embrace. And Lamu County has raised this bar. It's now upon you guys to come and embrace it and take it to another level. Finally, I want to thank His Excellency the Governor for Lamu County, Issa Abdallah Timami, for making this a success story because of his passion, because of his dedication, and his leadership to ensure that we have come all that far from the marginalized village to a global stage like this. It's not easy. And that is why he brought me here to give you one good message. He is actually cordially inviting you to Lamu County's grand
cultural festival that we are going to hold on 28th to 30th November this year, where you will come and witness, as well as experience, the rich culture that we have integrated into climate change adaptation measures. Welcome all of you, and I want to assure you that you will enjoy our rich culture, our serene beaches, our maritime coolness, and so on and so forth. Thank you. Can I say it? Lastly, I want to thank all the partners. Of course, the German Red Cross. The fight that you had in the last 1 week was amazing. My brother, Dinka, for your motivation, and the other team. Of course, Kenya Red Cross in Lamu County, led by Abdul Hakim. World Vision, led by Michael Muley. WWF, USAID Kuza from John Giviaka, led by Bright Wayne. All of these are partners who made this a success story. Thank you, guys. And lastly but not least, my family. My wife. My wife, at a certain point, I had to convert my bedroom into an EOC, and she accepted to be my secretary, dispatching calls here and there, before we had this. My children, for their support, the big boy Suleiman, Nizar, Zoya, the little Kupi, they are my supports, and I will love them to the end of this world. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Thank you, Shi. Thank you again. On behalf of myself and the ADA team, we are honored to be here, and I wish you all the best. Thank you.
Thank you, Shikupi, and thank you, Alan. So we are going to see you all in Kanti Lamu in November. Please come over for a fantastic party and have the opportunity to visit Sheikh Ushi and his communities and colleagues. Excellent. Hi.
Hi.
Lovely to have you back.
So, this was amazing, so inspiring. We want to see a bit how all of you have been inspired by the past 3 days. Last little exercise, should we call it, of the day. We have a Menti for you. We want you to imagine that you're working for a AA newspaper, and imagine what story you would write to your editors after these 3 days. So work with your neighbor, 2 or 3 people, put in your suggestions. We will also pass the mic to hear directly from you.
Yes, and whilst online participants will populate the Menti, also colleagues here and partners in the room, feel free to write it down. We'll give you a few minutes because we'll pass the mic around and we'll see how creative you are going to be with your news editor. Okay, we are waiting.
We have it here.
Okay, we see something coming up already. Okay, let me start with the first one. Berlin got hot this week, and not because of climate change. That's a good one. Do you want to pick another one, Stephanie?
Yes, I mean, we did see it coming. Was it the exercise? Was it what did we see coming? AA is the only way. I like that one.
How about trending ways to save lives? I think that could definitely get my attention. I like the complexity has been made easy.
And we made the magic happen.
Let's see whether, if we can scroll down and see there are a few more. AA, a transformative movement. Faster than disaster. I like that one. Even in complex context, acting ahead of disaster is possible. Under pressure. AA, the game changer. Do you want to pick another one, Stephanie?
Yeah, we have don't sweat, juggle your way through AA themes. Sort of linking it to our guest this morning, right?
I like that one. Berlin flooded with brilliant ideas and innovative approaches to anticipatory action. Well done. AA, local heroes leading to change for a greener tomorrow. I think this is also coming from Hugo Slim keynote that we had on the first day. Really inspiring.
Yeah.
Don't hesitate, anticipate. Love that one.
And we have don't wait, anticipate, where the magic happens.
Excellent. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're very inspired.
Yes. Let's read the newspaper tomorrow then.
All right.
Okay, so now is the moment where we will be welcoming our guest speaker on the podium and online for the closing remark. If we can just put up the slides, please. So we will be, Stephanie and I, introduce them one by one.
Yes. Our first speaker for the closing remarks will be Mr. Andronel Reyes, who works with the Office of Civil Defense from the Philippines. Let's give him a little clap while he joins us. Here we go. Oh, okay.
Right. Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Andronel Reyes from the Office of the Civil Defense from the Philippine government. And on behalf of the Philippine government, I would like to express first my heartfelt gratitude for the invitation to participate in the 12 Global Dialogue Platform. My sincere thanks go to the Anticipation Hub, to Start Network, of course, for sponsorship of the accommodation and transportation, and also to the other partners who have made this event possible. So this gathering has been incredibly productive, allowing us to learn from each other's experiences in implementing anticipatory action. During my conversations with some of our colleagues here on the parallel sessions, it is clear that every country faces unique challenges when it comes to disasters, requiring tailored solutions. For example, in the Philippines, of course, most common is hydrometeorological hazards. Also, we have human-induced, there's also flooding and conflict. In my conversation with some of our colleagues from Zimbabwe, they have shared stories about ecosystem-driven issues such as human-wildlife conflicts. And these diverse challenges emphasize the need for context-specific interventions. So what are the key takeaways that I would like to highlight from this event? First is about mainstreaming AA. Mainstreaming AA requires a unified and collaborative approach, whether through legally established technical working groups or informal advisory bodies. It's essential to create platforms where governments, humanitarian actors, private organizations, and civil society can work together. I realize many countries are already making strides in fostering an open engagement among these key players. Second, the funding remains a critical factor in advancing AA interventions. So without sufficient financial resources, it would be really difficult for us to move forward, especially in the face of imminent dangers or disasters. So the Philippine government deeply values its partnerships with humanitarian organizations whose support has been vital in preparing for disaster impacts. So we know that they have their own pilot projects in local government units in the Philippines, which have not only reduced disaster risks, but also have built resilience in vulnerable communities. So for the information of everyone, there is actually a typhoon right now ravaging the Philippines, especially the northern part. So it has already affected 1 million of residents, and many were already displaced due to the cascading effects of the typhoon, such as landslide and flooding. With this, we extend our gratitude to our partners, specifically from START Network, for the activation of their AA interventions in the northern region, 42 hours before the typhoon's impact. This has actually significantly mitigated the impact of the typhoon. So in light of these experiences, the Philippines has taken a proactive step by proposing the integration of AA into our DRM system. So this is what we call our proposed legislative measure, the Declaration of State of Imminent Disaster, which aims to not only institutionalize AA, but also to ensure that all local government units can access funding and adopt AA protocols tailored to their specific hazards. So we are pleased to share that the National Anticipatory Action Technical Working Group in the Philippines, along with the legislative branch of the government, has already made a significant progress on this bill. So it has also been included in the President's legislative priorities for the duration of his term. So as we move forward, our country, the Philippines, remains committed to engaging with our with the international community. We continue to learn from each other and to continue to share the best practices in AA. I hope that this dialogue is not only conducted annually, but I hope we continue to reach out to each other in order to strengthen our global collaboration for AA. And thank you and good afternoon.
Thank you very much. I would like now to invite to the podium Regina Omlo, the Anticipatory Action Lead of the Central Emergency Response Funds from UN OCHA. Please, Regina.
Thank you. Wow, what an incredible 3 days. I think I want to really start with a huge thank you to the Anticipation Hub and all of the organizing team for making this possible, for bringing all of us here, and for giving us the space to exchange, to learn, to listen, and to have these inspiring conversations. Let's have a round of applause for the organizers. So I think every conversation that I've been part of, every session, every panel, really every lunch break and coffee break have just been making this experience and this 12th Global Dialogue platform a really, really enriching experience. And I just want to thank everyone who contributed their ideas, who was so willing to share what they have learned and what still needs to be done. I also want to say that it's been really fascinating to just, appreciate the diversity of the backgrounds, the perspectives. I mean, we've heard from multiple governments about, how they have been working into their systems, the anticipatory action plans and systems. And we've been hearing from researchers, from the academic community about evidence and what we need to actually learn from what we do. We've heard from all of you who are either practitioners, implementers, donors, on how we can actually work together and make this better. I also, I think, want to bring us back to Tuesday morning when we, heard from a lot of friends and colleagues of Pablo who reminded us of the important and remarkable legacy that he left us with, right? The vision that they keep alive, that we need to really embrace kind of the discomfort, pushing boundaries, really going beyond what we're comfortable with, what we're used to, and that brings us to the magic and to the effectiveness. I think we've seen that we need to really continue this conversation, to work together, to coordinate. And of course, as OCHA, we are at the heart of that. We're committed to continuing, supporting, advocating for funding, collective anticipatory action, coordinated anticipatory action, and anticipatory action that is multi-sectoral, that really gets to the diverse and holistic needs of the people that we're trying to serve. I also want to just thank, everyone who was behind the scenes. There's so much that we don't really see. So really a huge thank you for everyone around just the organization and making sure that we all had, the space and the confidence to exchange our work. I think next I want to just, go back to the theme of mainstreaming. I think what was fascinating for me was to see how all of the sessions and all of the conversations really got to mainstreaming from every angle. I mean, we spoke about how to mainstream, anticipatory principles and action and plans into different systems, into national systems, how we do better in really kind of embracing locally led anticipatory action, how we can mainstream it from a funding perspective. We've also learned that mainstreaming and embracing that complexity, which are the themes of this dialogue platform, really also extend to what we need to scale up and mainstream. And that's really where we go back to what the previous speaker said about financial resources. And we need to, again, embrace that we're at the crossroads right now where we really need funding that goes beyond the humanitarian community. We at OCHA, we're really pushing for more financing, of course, but also different funding mechanisms, innovative tools. We've heard in one session about, is there a potential for insurance to help us maximize financial resources and do the scale up? So I think the mainstreaming element, I take a lot with me, and I think I can speak for many colleagues, to how we can do this better and how we can get to the scale that allows us to do that. And then I think I would just want to end by saying, we look forward to the next dialogue platform. I know that there's a lot of regional dialogue platforms and gatherings going on all along the year. And I just look forward to continuing the partnerships, to embracing that we can learn from each other, we can combine our expertise, and hopefully next year we come together and compare notes and hold each other accountable to what we've achieved by then. So thank you, everyone, and hopefully until October 2025. Thanks.
All right. Thank you, Regina. Our next closing remarks are from Bettina Iselli. She's the Chief Program Officer with WHH, and I believe she will join us online.
Yes, hello, good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
While I'm unable to join you in person today in Berlin, I would like to congratulate everyone on the successful conclusion of the 12th Global Dialogue Platform. It has taken tremendous effort to bring this event together. And I'm proud that Welthungerhilfe has been part of the organizing team with the Anticipation Hub. The hard work has clearly paid off. Over the past 3 days, the core anticipatory action community has engaged in meaningful exchange, critical debate, and collective thinking. And I think that's really important for all of us, while also recharging for the challenges ahead. At Welthungerhilfe, we've long been committed to anticipatory action. And in recent years, we have deepened our efforts. Here, I also want to take the moment to thank GFFO for their continued support and strong leadership. What stands out from this year's Global Dialogue Platform, however, is that understanding that success in anticipatory action doesn't come from any single organization. It comes from what we achieve together. In the last 3 days, we have embodied that spirit of collaboration, even in the face of complex crises. As Hugo Slim rightly said, we are a movement, and together we are transforming the humanitarian sector. It's inspiring to see the diversity within the movement, including academia, research, NGOs, government representatives. All in all, more than 300 people in Berlin and over 1,500 people online. That's huge. I am particularly excited to see some of our national partners, alongside many other local NGOs, National Red Cross and Regression Societies, national disaster risk management authorities. I truly believe that anticipatory action will only achieve its full potential when it's locally led. And while thanking all donors, and it has been said with the previous speakers as well, for their crucial support, it will be, as the Grand Bargain documents also suggests, necessary to significantly increase funding for anticipatory action. If we run out of fuel, the engine will surely sputter. Finally, I also want to acknowledge how Pablo Suarez was honored on the first day. He continues to inspire our community. And as he used to say, it needs the one step out of the comfort zone, because that's where magic happens. I hope these 3 days have been a bit uncomfortable at times for all of you, but I also hope that they've brought moments of magic. Thank you very much, and back to Berlin.
Feeling I'm running this afternoon. Thank you very much, Bettina, for your remarks. And it's my pleasure to invite and introduce you all to Julie Arrighi. She is online. Julie is the Director of Programs at the Red Cross Red Crescent Climate Center. Hi, Julie. Lovely seeing you.
Hello, everyone. Good morning from here. Good afternoon to all of you there, and maybe good evening to folks online. Firstly, as well from me, a resounding congratulations to all of you on another successful Global Dialogue platform. Including the 12th Global DP is an incredible testament to the growth of this space, as well as the passion and commitment to anticipatory action that is championed by everyone here. I'm really excited to hear about all the rich discussions, experience sharing, recommendations for improving anticipatory action that have taken place in the past 3 days. And this year's theme, mainstreaming anticipatory action in complex contexts, is a testament to our ambition to address compounding and cascading risks, including those in fragile and conflict-affected contexts. We've shared experiences from national and regional levels with lessons drawn from across the globe, and I'm proud that we're supporting National Red Cross and Red Crescent societies in strengthening their anticipatory action in fragile and conflict-affected contexts, such as in South Sudan, Mali, Yemen, Somalia, and among others. At the global level, the Climate Center, in partnership with the IFRC, ICRC, and the UN, have developed a new guide called Navigating Fragility, Conflict, and Violence to Strengthen Community Resilience. We're really excited that this guide is launching tomorrow in Geneva, and we hope the guide will support the wider community in designing and implementing DRR and AA in complex context. Mainstream anticipatory action more generally requires concerted efforts, and it's noteworthy to also recognize the efforts of governments leading the integration of anticipatory action into their frameworks, and we commit to continuing our engagement towards achieving their ambition as well. As we work towards mainstreaming anticipatory action, we should strengthen collaboration at local, national, regional, and global levels, and this requires trust in the people and the systems that we work with, from communities to governments. New frontiers, such as the Humanitarianism 2.0 that Hugo Slim shared in his keynote address on Tuesday, is also a great example of the innovative thinking we continue to need to make anticipatory action a success. And finally, on a more personal note, thank you for celebrating the legacy of our dear friend and colleague Pablo Suarez, who pioneered FBF, now popularly known as Anticipatory Action. Pablo challenged us to get out of our comfort zones, and as we conclude the dialogue platform, it's my hope that each of us will be 10% more courageous in our professional and personal lives as we strive to make humanity better. As we come to the end of the dialogue platform, I hope that the knowledge shared will inspire all of us to strengthen and grow anticipatory action. And congrats once again to all of you and to the organizing team on a successful platform. Thank you.
Elizabeth, well, my mic is on, I'm sorry, I forgot that part. All right, we have our last guest for her closing remarks. If I just, as we had a little shift in the program, but we are very pleased to welcome Elizabeth Riley. Elizabeth is the Executive Director of CDEMA, and I believe she will join online as well. 1, 2, 3 moments, she will be connecting. There we go. Good afternoon, Elizabeth.
Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon. Over to you.
Thank you very much, and well, it's morning here in Barbados, but good afternoon to all of you. And first, I want to say thank you so much for inviting me to join today's conversation on the anticipatory action. I know you've had a few days of delving deeply into this topic. So I wanted to share just 3 comments from Caribbean CIB's perspective on the issue of anticipatory action as we close today's meeting. And the first is related to what we have observed in the Caribbean with respect to the changing hazards and the implications of that for anticipatory action. And we know that anticipatory action is based on the forecasts or the predictive analyses of when and where specific hazards are going to occur. Now, in the Caribbean, the hazards that we experience are incredibly diverse in nature. And therefore, discussions around anticipatory action have to be adjusted, whether we speak to fast onset, slow onset, or hazards which are of a protracted duration where levels of uncertainty are very high. And this is something that we absolutely have to take into consideration in how we roll out our conversations and interventions on anticipatory action. In addition, we are well aware that climate change is also potentially going to cause us to question our level of confidence in the forecast or the predictive analyses, particularly as it relates to cyclones and severe weather. And I think we very much saw that during the 2024 hurricane season. Certainly for us in the Caribbean, Hurricane Beryl and the rapid intensification around that system, and more recently, as we observed what happened with Milton and its rapid intensification from a tropical system to a 5 system within 24 hours. These are the types of things where we have now to really examine the adequacy of our traditional knowledge and information and methods that have been available for being able to undertake forecasts and predictive analyses. The second comment I wanted to make is with respect to the matter of the focus of where we channel our attention when it comes to anti-action. And this is really on the social side, because we know that the action is usually implemented before the impact or before its most acute humanitarian impacts. And within a SIDS context, there certainly is a high level of uncertainty, again, to the hydrometeorological aspects, severe weather, and there's a critical social dimension here. So, for example, we have to ask the question, what is the basis for determination of where those humanitarian impacts are going to occur? And certainly in the Caribbean, we right now not only talk about the need for treatment of pre-impact persons who have been identified and categorized as being vulnerable, but we also are having active discussions around persons who may fall into more marginal categories and who, in the aftermath of impacts, will actually fall into that grouping of the vulnerable. And we've been seeing this in all instances of significant hazard impacts within the Caribbean space. And it really emphasizes the importance of the integration of the situation related. And my final comment, the third comment, is related to the importance of continued investment in multi-hazard early warning systems, because there is an underlying assumption with anticipatory action that early alerts within the early warning systems are available and therefore informing the shape and direction of early action. So those are the three things I wanted to share. Again, thank you very much for the opportunity to make a contribution to the meeting. I unfortunately could not get there in person, but I'm very much looking forward to seeing the report of the meeting and to getting a sense of the specific results and also recommendations that emerged, to see the extent to which we can also incorporate those into our work here in the Caribbean. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Elizabeth, so much for having joining us online and your remarks. It's great to have you, and it's my pleasure and honor to invite the last guest speaker, our esteemed speaker, friends and donor, Peter Royce, to the stage.
Alessandra, thank you all of you. It's very difficult to be the last speaker after 3 days. And everything has been said, but as they say, not from everyone. So I wanted to start by commenting on the perfect technology, and then we couldn't understand her properly. But I have to say, everything was so perfectly organized. Alessandra, where are you? And your team perfectly. And I want to thank you, all the people we cannot see, from the wardrobe downstairs, the interpreters, and all the people who cooked for us and served, and it was fantastic. I think this is a perfect room you found. I hear it was quite expensive too. So, don't know who paid for it. But be assured that I think every penny was worth it, every cent, because it is so important. I've seen this again, that we speak, that you meet each other, and thank you for including me, that I could listen to you and meet a lot of you and speak to you, because you only learn. You cannot but learn about things who went well, things didn't work out, things you think about. You have new ideas when you speak with other people. The hybrid thing was a solution. It worked very well, but it's not the same. You have to meet in person once in a while. I think everybody of you is on the field. I'm on my desk, but to meet people and to speak to each other makes the whole difference. It started many years ago with a small idea, and 10 years ago we started the adventure together, and the German Foreign Office is proud for being part of the adventure right from the beginning, and now it's a big thing. It's a really big thing, and everybody knows about anticipatory humanitarian action, and it's the vision that became reality. And go on this way. I think we are now in the stage, and very happy, therefore, that I wasn't the only representative of a government, that many people came to represent their government, their states, because this is the proper ownership. It should be done by the states, by the government, by the administrations, on all levels, by the way. I spoke yesterday about localization. That's very important, that everybody has this ownership. And humanitarian action, you know, normally it shouldn't be needed, because the government should do it on their own if there is a problem. So keep this in mind. We can help, but it's only subsidiary. We can help other people to make it better. Thank you so much for coming. I think, as I know, some of you look at the watch because you have to run to the airport or the railway station. Have a safe trip home. It was a pleasure to see you all. To see you again from last year, because last year was my first year, and definitely next year will be my third year, and I'm looking forward to see you all again here. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Peter, for your words. And we have now a little video for you. These are the cartoons that have been drawn by our cartoonists during the past 3 days. You might have inspired some of those. Okay, excellent. I've got a couple of announcements, if that's okay, and then will be music and party, so please remain for those of you that don't need to catch the train or the airplane just now. Please do take your phone, log into Menti. We would love to have your feedback, colleagues and friends online, and as well here in the venue in Berlin. We want to hear your voice. We want to have your feedback. So will help us and the whole organizing team to prepare for next year's event based on what you tell us. So thank you for that. Very quickly announcement. Please do return the translation headset before you leave. For the posters and stores that are in the other room, we'll be grateful if you could collect them by 5:30. And also last but not least, very important announcement, we will have coffee and snack to go, will be served on the way out. So should you need that, please, that's also available.
All right. I think we also need to take a little moment to thank everyone. I saw one of the titles was that the Global Dialogue Platform is an Oscar ceremony. We'll try to make it shorter. But please join us upstage for the thank yous. We will also do a group picture, I believe.
Yes, and we have some particular colleagues as well that we would like to thank personally for all the effort and support that they have given to us.
Exactly. So from the organizing team representatives, we'd like to give a big thank you to Irene from the Climate Center.
Irene, come join us. Come on, our friend.
We would like to thank Sifo Kazi from FAO.
Sifo is still around.
Stephanie from GRC. Ghana from IFRC.
Anna, please join us on stage. Thank you.
Yonis from OCHA.
Yanis is our super talented DJ.
Ella from START. They're all on their way. Julia from WHH. And Laura from WFP.
Oh, Shireen.
She's not here. Great.
Do we want an OT photo? Do we feel like? Can we have? Come on this side.
Oh.
Look at how many ladies. Eh? This is girl power, by the way.
And Yonis.
Okay. Excellent.
All right.
No, please stay. Don't go. Please stay.
Please stay with us on the stage.
Don't bite. Then we would like to invite Peter Royce on behalf of the German Federal Foreign Office. Please, Peter, come and join us. And this is to all of us to say thank you to you and your wonderful team and office and division all together. So thank you very much.
All right. We have our notable partner contributions from WHH, WFP, Global Support and Development, START Network, the Climate Center, and OCHA. We have our suppliers on site. We have the venue, of course. We have our live stream and website provider, Storytile.
Can you invite you, Jackie, from Storytile? Come on. Thank you, Jackie. On behalf of the team.
All right. We have our photographer, Philip Meise. Betche for the amazing cartoon illustrations. I think she deserves a big applause as well. And our third-party influence for the music, Simon. Big thanks, of course, to all the moderators, speakers, and facilitators over the 3 past days, and a special shout out to the volunteers from the Anticipation Hub. It's gonna go fast, but big thanks.
Please come and join me on stage.
And last but certainly not least, a big thanks to the Anticipation Hub team. We have Giovanna, Sude, Lisa, All right, let me name out Alessandra, with Christina, Hila, Catherine, Enio, Frederique, Nico, Tim, Marius, Shana.
And also, let me say a special thank you to my very own team, to Shona, our event manager, who was able to pull all of that together. You are a great team. Let me just come here. And now we want to invite everyone else on the podium here to say thank you and to have a last photo. Please come over. You have been fantastic. Colleagues online, thank you for having joined us for the past 3 days. We are really grateful for all your engagement to support. Please come on stage. We'd love to have you.